And I've seen a lot of cops, I've seen a lot of lawyers pull out all the stops. I've seen a lot of children with their parents in their hands. I've felt a lot of women who refuse to understand. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fires going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take you for your money, whatever spring. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. Guitar Players Planet. 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 Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way the music has touched my soul, the way that the South holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the land of the new. Oh, na 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 na. figure. Can I break this spell?
Good evening, everyone. How you doing? Dan Higgins here again with Eric and Jason at AstroWorld TV. It's 9 o'clock. It's Wednesday night. So it's a wonderful night. We're all doing some imaging, I think, with the exception of the only one that's not doing imaging, I think, is Jason.
Still too daylight, still too light out.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's only 6 o'clock over there. So,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
All right, first night. So tonight we're going to go over sequences. Eric's going to go over ASI Air, and I'm going to go over Sequence Generator Pro. But first of all, I'd like to thank all the support the community has given us since we returned since July 1st. So it's been really, the community is growing, and I'd like to throw this out there real quick. If anyone has anything that they would like to share, or a video that they would like to share, or something about their rig, or if they want to even come on as a guest, feel free to give us a chat or an email. I'll put the email down below. We got a starter email. It's going to be astroworld.email@gmail.com. And we'll put the video on the show. We'll put you on the show, just so we get. The more we learn, the more we have people communicating, and the more we learn. So I think that's one of the bases that we all started this project for. Just some upcoming things. Next week, we're lucky to have Tom Bramwell coming on from Prima Luce Lab. He's going to talk about how he got involved with Prima Luce Lab and some of the products that are coming out through the Prima Luce Lab in Italy. So that's going to be awesome. And don't forget, we have Stacy Downton coming on Saturday, September 26th. Now that's going to be a daytime show in order to help with the time zone, and it's like 4 or 5 hours difference over in the UK. And remember, if you like what you see on the shows, please subscribe, and as Eric always says, hit the bell so you can get the notifications of when we post our reviews or go live. So that's my thing in the beginning. So I'm like shadowy. Look at this. What's going on?
It's almost like you're missing a light.
What's that?
It's almost like you're missing a light.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but we'll figure it out. So thank you for watching, and Eric, I think you got some stuff on the ASI Air.
Yep.
I'm gonna go polar line, and I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'll be back. So Eric, take it away.
All right, man. So, yeah, we've been talking about the ASI Air Pro for quite a bit. It's a very popular piece of equipment, and I want to go through how we go through a normal day, or normal night rather, of using the ASI Air Pro. So I put together a video of a night of imaging using ASI Air Pro with me working on a project. It's actually a two-parter. We right now have the second part, which is
Eric.
Yeah.
We can hardly hear you, bud. The mic needs.
Can you hear me?
You got to turn the mic 90 degrees from the way it's pointed. You should be talking to the side of it, not the top of it.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you rotate the mic so that it's pointed straight up to the ceiling?
How about there? Any better?
Yes, that's way better.
Okay, cool. New stuff. Yeah, speaking of the mic. So So what we've got is a video that I'll be posting on YouTube later tonight. It's one of two parts of a night of imaging and my process of what I do every night to get started. And it's more on how to, the first part is on how to balance your mount, especially this is for new people getting started. Um, and then the second part, which we're going to show, is using the ASIR Pro and all of the different features that I go through on the night of imaging. So, Jason, do you have that?
I have that one. You ready to go?
Whenever you're ready, you go ahead and hit play, man.
Here we go.
Yep, I'm connected. So, going to switch my scope just
And bring it back. Hold on. We're going to re-rack that because it didn't start at the beginning. I was QCing
Okay.
it. That's what happens when I don't fully QC things before we go live in the show. Open. There we go. Bear with me while I...
No problem. So what I was doing, the target I was going after is one of my, is a favorite target of mine, not necessarily this, but the type it is. I was going after dark nebula. And of course, with Discovery this week, I believe is Shark Week. So I decided to go after one of my favorite dark nebula, the Dark Shark Nebula, LDN 1235. And if you've never, and I'm sure most who are pretty experienced, especially northern hemisphere astronomers and astrophotographers, you've probably already seen pictures of this. It is a really cool dark nebula, and what dark nebula are basically cosmic dust lanes that don't carry maybe any rhyme or feature of how they're set up. It's very little oxygen in that area. Not oxygen, but hydrogen. But it's basically just dust. And but they make great these great structures and formations that are just of no rhyme or reason. And I can say right now, from what I've seen, Cepheus is it's a constellation where what this nebula is in. There's a lot of dark nebula in Cepheus. And one thing I would recommend is there are two catalogs that have dark nebulae that I know of, at least. There is the Barnard's catalog, named after an American astronomer, Barnard. And one of his more common dark nebulae is the Horsehead Nebula, Barnard 33, in the constellation Orion. But there's also the LDN Lens catalog of dark nebulae. He has one also of bright nebulae, but you should check those out if you're looking for new targets. Check out dark nebulae. They're really fun. They can be a bit challenging because you really can't see the nebulosity of these, but yeah, we're ready to go. But check them out. Okay, Dan, guys, are we ready? Jason, you ready?
Yes.
Awesome. So go for it, man.
okay. So now that nightfall is here, we are going to go through the next steps. We're going to go get into focus and then polar align. And then once we're polar aligned, then we'll go to our target and start guiding and doing our imaging session to the Dark Shark Nebula. So we'll go here into ASIR. And what I do is I do a quick preview shot to see if I'm in focus or out of focus. Most likely I'm probably out of focus right now since I was working on another project. And I am. So, yep. So, okay. So now to get into focus, and what I'll do is I am going to go to the mount, and I have my Batinoff mask and my dew shield. And they basically go on top of one another. And I will then come back, use the EAF, and get everything into focus. So be right back. Okay, so the shield and mask are on. So what I normally do is I'll go to a bright star. In this case, since it's summertime, I'll go to Vega. And I can do that directly here within the ASI Air. I can use its catalog to do a go-to. So I already have it plugged in because this is the common star that I use. And now I'll just do simply a go-to. And the mount is right now slewing. And what it'll do is it'll take, once it gets there, it'll take a snapshot, do a quick polar alignment to make sure that it's centered and in the right area. And if it's not, it'll make an adjustment, and then it'll come back and let me know. And then with the mask on, I'll be able to see how far out of focus I am. Okay. All right. So looking here, as you can see, I am out of focus pretty fairly. So I'll go ahead and turn on the focuser on the EAF, and I'll switch from preview to focus. And I will start. I am at bin 4, and I'm at 5 seconds and refresh. So we hit the magnifier here. Now I can go ahead and begin. And I'm going down. Okay, that looks about right. That looks about right. So let me stop now and go back. I'm going to do another quick 5-second preview, and then we'll zoom in and see how the diffraction spikes look. Nope, I'm in focus. So they're right through the middle. It looks good. Okay, so now that I'm in focus, the next step is move that shield and mask, and I'm going to go put it back into park, which is it facing Polaris, and then we'll do the polar alignment. So next step. Okay, so now I've taken off the mask and the shield and sent the mount back to 0 position, which it should be facing Polaris. So I'll take another quick 5-second exposure. Okay, and plate solve, if I sync, it should fail. I'm out of range because I'm right within the North Celestial Pole. All right, so now I'll go ahead and go from preview to PA, and go ahead and click start. Now I should already be pretty well polar aligned, so this should not take very long at all. So I'll go ahead and click next. Now it's rotating 60 degrees. And then it's going to do another test shot and do another plate solve to see how it looks, so it can solve. Then I'll go ahead and click let's go. Now, right now, if I was really off, I would go and I would adjust my altitude and my azimuth bolts, but the total error is 54 hundredths of an arc second. I guess that's what you want to call it. It's less than an arc second. But it's smiling, it's happy, I'm polar aligned. I think I should be fine. Now, if I was off, the arrows would tell me where I need to go. Up means I would have to adjust the altitude a little bit up. And the arrow here is pointing left, so I would use the left azimuth bolt to adjust that to move in so I get closer. But I think right now I'm fine with this, so I should be good to go. So I'll go ahead and just click finish. Okay, so polar alignment is done. So I'll go back to preview here. Now I can go ahead and head towards the Dark Shark Nebula. So since the ASIR Pro's catalog does not include the Bernard catalog or the LDN catalog or any of the other catalogs like that, it carries more common catalogs such as IC, Messier, NGC, and named stars and planets. I'm going to have to manually enter in the right ascension and declination of the target. So to do that, I will go to Sky Safari. Okay. And so I should be able to just connect. Yep, I'm connected. So going to switch my scope display. And now I'll look for the Dark Shark Nebula. And that is LDN 1235. Sorry about that. Actually, I wanted to show how we do it with the ASIR Pro instead of going through Sky Safari. So let me get that information here. Okay, so RA 22, 16, and I'll say 2 seconds, 22 hours, 16 minutes, and 2 seconds. Declination 73 degrees, 29 and 9. So let's take care of the RA first. So 22, 16, and 2. So we'll go there. And we'll select the RA and we'll go 22, is it 16, and I said 2, right? So yeah, I think it was 2. Okay, done. Now I'll go back to Sky Safari and get the deck. 73, 29, and 9. 73, 29, and 9. $29 and 9. Done. All right, now I can do a go-to straight from here. It wasn't that far, actually. So now to do the same thing it did for the polar alignment and everything like that, it'll validate. And it's centered. All right, so I am centered in the area where I should be. I will take a couple test shots to see where I am at in framing, but we're not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to go ahead and show you the guiding. So once you hit your target, we'll go to guide, and we will start up our guiding. And usually on the nights, I'll clear calibration and I will let it select the target and begin calibration. Okay, so to recap, now we have gone through focusing, we've gone through the polar alignment, We've done the go-to using the ASIR Pro, manually going to the RA and the declination, and now we're doing the guiding, and we're right now going through calibration. So what we'll do now is we'll pause for a second, let this calibrate, and then I'll just do some test shots to see where I'm at there, and then we can go through the final steps. So almost done. Okay, so calibration is done, and now we're guiding. So let's take a look here. And guiding is good. Guiding's pretty good. It's around a 6/10 of an arc second, a little bit more, closer to 7/10, but it's going to fluctuate. Hopefully it'll drop a little bit, but I think this is good guiding. So now that we're guiding, the next thing and final thing to do is start our auto run. So we will go to auto run here, and I already have it set up. So what you'll want to do is you'll put in your target information, so LDN 1235 for this. If you notice down at the bottom you have a before meridian. That lets you know when the meridian flip is scheduled to happen. So if it's before your estimated time of completion, you want to turn meridian flip on. And what that does is, once it gets to this point, this 2 hour and 42 minutes, a little bit before then, it will stop guiding, it will stop imaging, it will tell the mount to do the meridian flip. And once it is done with the meridian flip, it will take a test shot, and it'll plate solve to make sure it's back in the position, the RA declination, it what previously was at before it did the flip. Once it's checked that out and made sure it's centered, then it will restart guiding, find a new guide star, begin this guiding process, and once guiding has begun, then it'll continue with the auto run and start back up your imaging. So we have that set there, and I also have it set to go to home, which means it's going to go back to 0 position. And now we just simply press the button here, confirm the go to home position, and now we're off, and that's it. So I hope this was helpful for everyone who is interested in the ASIR Pro and how it works. Thank you for joining me. If you have any comments or questions, please just feel free to drop those into the comments section. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe and press like and ring the bell to let you know that a new video is out, so you're alerted. Also, don't forget every Wednesday at 9 o'clock to join me, Dan, and Jason for AstroWorld TV. So until next time, clear skies, and don't forget, only when it's dark enough can you see the stars. Take care, everyone.
All right. That was a really good video, Eric.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, nice job, man. Very good.
Thank you.
So the first question you got is from Mark Ellis.
Yeah.
He was wondering why you do bin 4 instead of bin 2.
Do you want to take that, Eric?
So yeah, so basically with focusing and using bin 4, for one, whenever you increase your bin, you're actually increasing your pixels. You're combining pixels, so you're getting a better view of the star. Okay, so, and that's the key. You want to get a better view of the star, so you can especially see those diffraction spikes. So if you're using, if you're focusing either manually or something with the EAF or anything like that, the key is to get that, you know, center diffraction spike, and it helps make things a lot clearer using bin 4 than versus bin 1. And what I also do is after I think I'm right there, I actually go back if I'm in focus. If I think I'm in focus, and I'll go back to preview, and I'll do maybe a 5-second preview with the mask still on, and then zoom in and expand so I can see the spike, so I can see the star, and that way I can make sure that yes, I am truly, you know, in focus based off of the Batinoff mask. But the main reason you use bin 4 is so you can get a larger view of your focusing star.
Yeah, and in ASIR Pro specifically, you know, I talked with TJ and I've talked with Simon a little bit about it, and actually messaged back and forth with G over at ZWO. It's the way they designed it. Ben 4 is just going to give you much more detail because you want to look at minute. It's not going to be where you want to image, but where you're getting your focus and stuff like that, it's going to be considerably more true. So I thought it was counterintuitive because to me, Ben 1 would be sharper than Ben 4 because you're looking at 4 pixels to make 1 because it's doing averaging, but you can actually see way more detail in the overall imaging, especially for a focus screen. Not so much for the preview, but really in the focusing modality.
Yeah.
And it also eliminates some of the background noise, so you get a truer, deep contrast between dark and light. So you can really see those stars pop off, and when you're using the Batinoff mask like you were, it's really going to make those diffraction spikes pop.
Yeah, and if you can get it, I mean, Batinoff masks are very inexpensive. You can even make one of your own, sometimes without a cardboard and stuff like that, because you can download the images and the templates and actually make one on your own. But I say, you know, getting a focusing mask is a must. That's personally for me, it is one of the things you have to have for astronomy, period. No matter if it's astrophotography or visual, I really would stress anyone doing this hobby or astronomy and visual, you know, doing visual, get a Batinoff mask to make sure that you're, you know, because you don't want to, you know, gyp yourself in a way on getting the best views in the sharpest stars as you possibly can. So, you know, so no matter either way you're doing, you know, doing astronomy, get a mask.
Now, I will say that visual, in my experience with Batinoff, unless it's an extremely bright star, you're not really going to see the diffraction spikes because those typically tend to present themselves more when you're doing astrophotography.
Yes,
because of the longer exposure. So naked eye, you're not really going to see the diffraction. So it's more so if you're doing the imaging.
Yes. Yeah, because usually when I do my focusing with like with my 8SE or something like that, like I did in the video, I usually go after more higher magnitude, lower magnitude stars. You know, I'm going after Vega, I'm going after Sirius, I'm going after, you know, Capella or Arcturus, you know, as my focusing stars. And then also what I will do, I didn't show this in the video, but when I slew over to my area that I'm going to be imaging at, I sometimes refer back to Sky Safari and look for a decent sized star in that area. Sometimes it's like usually maybe a higher magnitude type of a star versus, you know, the others, but I will focus on that as well because I'm in the area that I'm going to be shooting at. And it also helps to make sure, okay, where I'm at and what the image that I'm shooting at, yeah, I'm in focus there as well, not just necessarily depending on, you know, Vega or those larger stars, you know, brighter stars.
Yeah, that's a very good habit to get in, especially because if that's your target area, you're going to get your best focus in that area. And again, it'll change if you're lower in the horizon as you come up. Once you reach about 35 degrees above horizon, you'll start seeing a noticeable difference in atmosphere, which will also change your focusing. So it doesn't hurt to stop your imaging if you start with a low target. To check your focus once you get above about 30 to 45 or 35 to 40 degrees above elevation, to be able to get that really fine focus throughout the rest of the night.
And that's when also I use Telescopius. I use Telescopius a lot because it tells me where, at what degree I'm at, usually around the time I get started. So if I'm at that 30, lower than 30 degree, then I can check with Telescopius at another time, say maybe it's 10 o'clock or whatever, time it is. And I can say, okay, I'm at around, 40 degrees now. Then I'll go and I'll check my focus again. And make sure I'm still good. Usually I am, especially the EAF tends to keep things locked pretty good. So I'm usually don't have a problem with it. I just check really quick, make sure my HFD is still pretty low, and then I'm good to go.
Yeah, and the EAF, even though we don't have autofocus yet, it's still in process. We're still in the beta group waiting to get our hands on it, along with a few other features that I can't discuss, but we've got a lot coming out with this 1.5 beta.
No, can't let any secrets out yet.
No, so but the big thing is that EAF, because of the way it's mounted with most any autofocuser really, it's not going to let your focusing drift, where it could tend to throughout the night if you were just with a Crayford focuser.
Yep.
Unless you have it tensioned pretty tight. But once we get that autofocus and being able to do it by time and temperature, especially for out here, and I'm sure where you guys are, even with the changes in cooling, that's going to be a very well-liked feature once we get it.
It will be because, like you say, with that temperature changes. I mean, you're with the heat, but with us, we're reversed a little bit in the opposite, where we're getting hot, then it's going colder. So we're having those temperature fluctuations. And with the EAF, it's great because usually I really don't have to mess with it. I'd say 9 times out of 10, my focus is still perfectly fine when I check it.
If I start a little low, close to that 25 to 35 range, I'll have to stop and refocus. I noticed in some of my early stuff when I was still learning how to do the manual focusing with the AF, I wasn't getting quite as much. But when we updated to 1.4 and they went to the HFE or full half mass, HFM, it was considerably easier for me to get a good focus on my stars and then be able to pretty well hold focus all night. Now, like when I was doing Veil Nebula a couple weeks ago, because it was so high up, once I focused, it was good because I was 60 to
because you're at 60 plus 60, 70 degrees up. So, being over, that target right there is a great target. And, being that high up, you usually don't have to worry too much. Whereas with, say, if you're going after Rolfi, it's so low. You've got to make sure you're checking your focus because I know when I went after that, I was checking my focus like every hour. I was checking my focus because it was so low. But
well, that was one of the things that was kind of difficult getting used to coming from DSLR into an imaging camera, because with DSLR, I was shooting wide field, primarily landscapes. So when you're doing a track and you want to do a time lapse, you don't want to stop to check your focus.
Right.
So, you just kind of spray and pray and hope that it was really good before you got started.
Yep.
So.
No problem.
A bit of an issue.
That's all right. I keep seeing that you're there or not and just hanging out with Eric and I for a little bit.
Yep.
No. Apparently my scope was pointing in the wrong direction, and it went through about 1,500 trying to match plates off 1,500 different charts, and usually does it with about 4. so I had to run outside and kind of reset.
Yeah.
But, I'm back.
That's speaking of plate solve, the ASI Air, and it's, the way in conjunction with Sky Safari, but now even on its own, plate solving is awesome. It is one of the best things that an astrophotographer
Yeah.
can have. I don't know who developed. I mean, maybe it was NASA who got in, you know, who developed that, or some, you know, with plate
I don't
solving.
know about the history of
I don't know the history. I don't know the history about plate solving, but God bless you, whoever did it.
So I'll give you a little history on plate solving. So plate solving goes back to probably the 17 or 1600s.
Oh wow!
And what they were doing, and the reason why they call it plate solving, is what they did was they took these big metal plates and they used to chip holes into the plates where the stars were. And they used to chip holes into it. So then they would date the plates and they would say, okay, you know what, in 1701 on January 1st, this is what the sky looked like. So they knew if anything moved, they would take one plate on top of another. They would take this year on last year and see what moved.
Wow.
So if any of the dots didn't match up, they found out that something moved. So that's kind of how plate solving happened. It was all done on actual plates.
Okay.
Where they kind of punched holes in a plate and compared day by day the different plates.
Wow.
I thought you were going to go more like acid etched and.
Yeah. I'm thinking, you know, you're using actual like Tiffany or crystal plates, and you're like, yeah.
No, this is like copper plates with a screwdriver or something. They're just
man.
Yep.
Wow.
But,
that's very interesting.
Yeah. So let's see. So applause to Eric, Mark. John says great job. Eddie says thanks, Eric. Mark said, I wonder if that would be true with the other programs such as SGP. I don't know what the question was regarding. So, Mark, if you could kind of
if you can
elaborate on that.
Yeah, but thanks on the comments on the video. They will both. There is the one that you just saw, and there's one just before that, before nightfall, where I go through the process of setting up and showing my gear, as well as balancing the mount. So, which is very good for, you know, people who are new to this hobby, who want to understand what certain things you have to do before nightfall or just getting started. So that's part one. And those will be on YouTube later today.
Yep. So the one's still uploading. So we started transferring those onto my NAS about 30 minutes before show.
Yeah, and on the first one, I do have an actual little personal thing about, you know, why I went after the Dark Shark Nebula. So, you know, it's a little cute little thing. So you guys check out when I post it, you check it out. Oh. It should be pretty cool. It'll be pretty cool. So.
Nice. That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be awesome. You've been pumping out those videos, Eric. Nice job with that.
Thanks, man. So more to come. So hey, I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun.
Yeah, you know what? Every time I just put out part 2 as well of the Sequence Generator Pro video.
2 and 2A, right?
Was that?
What was the 2A?
Well, so the equipment profile manager in Sequence Generator Pro is so much. It's about 7 tabs, and it was running over to 40 minutes. And so I just made 2 into 2A and 2B. 2B will be out this week.
There's another reason.
You got the camera tab, you got the filter tab, you got the focuser tab, and then you got the telescope tab, which really isn't a telescope tab. It's more like your mount.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got plate salvage on its own. Auto guide is on its own. And another tab. So when you add it all together, it turned out to be over a 40-minute video. So I just wanted to chop it up into 2. So that's why the 2A and 2B. So if it confuses anybody, I apologize.
That's why, you know, because when I did this video here, it was, you know, well into a half an hour. It's like, you know, I need to break this apart. Maybe I'll do a day part and a night part.
There you go.
So
that's what you got to do, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and that's a big thing. Like, I really want to get in and get some of these videos, but unfortunately, we've been having a couple of storms and stuff came through, so it's been all cloudy, and so I can't get out and shoot anything.
Storms, fires.
Yeah, I mean, the whole state's burning down. It's been the apocalypse is real here, folks.
Tumbleweed
Well, luckily, there's too many houses, so the tumbleweeds are few and far between.
Hellmouths are starting to open in Arizona.
You can armadillo raids.
You know,
Scorpions.
scorpions.
Big
Yeah.
scorpions.
Oh yeah. Scorpions and rattlers are chilling out, you know,
Yep.
in the sun.
With them, PA and mount syncing and plate solving. Need to work on focus. Mark was talking about focusing in bin 4. Yeah, Mark.
Okay.
With Sequence Generator Pro, you could definitely change your binning in your frame and focus routine, and we could talk about that a little bit when we get into Sequence Generator Pro in a little bit. We got a couple other questions about ASIR, I think.
Yeah, cool.
Let's see. Need any tips on focusing? I think Tim is using the ASIR Pro, and he's having some issues with that.
As far as tips with the ASIR, like I was showing you in the video, and one of the biggest keys to focusing, really, if you don't have one yet, is to get a mask, is to get the Batinoff mask. If you don't have them, they're really inexpensive. They're less than $20 or something like that. You can even make one on your own because they have templates. They have templates out there that you can use a piece of cardboard and cut it out yourself. And I would say, like I said, I was in the video, start with a low magnitude start. I mean, they're all out there. They're usually your your common alignment stars, your Vegas, your Capella, your Arcturus, your Sirius, your Pricon, those types. Use those as your initial focusing stars. And then, as I mentioned once, when I was talking with Jason here, when you get to your target, take a look at Sky Safari or Stellarium or wherever you're at, or whatever software you're using for your planetarium software, and take a look at maybe the nearest mid magnitude, or if you have a low magnitude star that's nearby, and check your focus there again, so that way you know you're in focus even in the area that you're going to be imaging at. And then after that, you should be really good. You want to try to go for, because they go by, I believe it's half flux diameter in the ASIR Pro.
Okay.
You want to go for you want to have the lowest number possible. That's the key, because that lets you know. That's also an indicator, lets you know that you're in focus.
Most of my focusing on a like Capella or Vega usually get down to like a 1.2, 1.5 in that range. That's considered good focus.
Yes.
You're not really going to get below that.
Right.
And granted, I'm using the 120 mini. I know you're using the 290, right?
Yep, I have the 290.
So he has a little bit better pixel definition than I do, and a little bit better sensor. But the overall inherent nature is you should be getting around 1.25 to 1.6 is considered to be good focus for most mid-magnitude stars.
Yep.
What scope he's using, but it looks like it could be an actual focuser issue. But I don't know if I would. Well, I'll read it and I'll let you.
Oh, he's using a DSLR.
But it seems that when I lock the focuser, it changes.
Oh, it changes.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'll
Okay.
happen.
The focuser you have, if you're locking down that nut, that's going to change. That might roll your focuser a little bit. I wouldn't touch that.
Yeah, he says here he's also using a 60D Canon.
Oh yeah, he just wrote that. Yep.
Yeah, it shouldn't drift that much, but anytime you do tension the screw, you are going to get a bit of a drift. So I try to have my screw pretty close to tensioned, where I can make very fine adjustments. Once I get close, I'll kind of just tweak it just a little bit to get it close, and then just barely touch that tensioner to get it to hold through the imaging.
Because sometimes if you do it too tight, it will get knocked out.
Yep. And you definitely don't want to pit into your ring. because then your focuser will
Yeah.
want to gravitate there and snap, and it won't sit where you need it to. So try not to pinch. Most of them now have a copper liner, so it can't put a dimple into your rings. So that's very helpful. If you don't have it, it might be worth looking at getting a new focuser that'll drop in, that'll give you a little bit better capability there.
8-inch Astrograph.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, I just know I don't know if I would crank down that focus lock. That's
No,
especially when you're dealing with temperature compensation, you're dealing with different filters, stuff like that. You don't want to go back and forth and turning that nut. If you have an EAF, I think he said he has an EAF.
Oh, he's thinking about getting an EAF.
I would get one before the run, because
Yeah.
once 1.5 becomes public, there's going to be a run on EAF, because they're going to be coming out with autofocus, which everybody already knows. So we can talk
get
about
it
that.
now.
So
So
get it
yeah,
now,
so try to get it now. Yeah.
or at least
I'm
get on the
actually
wait
going to get a
list.
second.
Yep.
Yep.
And once ZWO makes some other announcements, I'm willing to bet they'll be very hard
Oh, they'll
to
be
find
huge
at ASI
drop-down.
or Pro.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because of the stuff that they're working on. So we're
Working
really
on-
excited
working
to
on some
see
really
what they're going
exciting
to do.
stuff. But yeah, I'm actually going to look to getting.
I got
Yeah, there
mine.
you go. I'm actually looking to get a second one, because I've been actually moving the one that I have, bouncing between my Rasa and my 126 and my Z71. And I'm like, you know what? This is nuts. I'm just going to go ahead and get a second one.
That's what I ended up doing. I actually got lucky because of a friend of mine here, Dan, and Camera Concepts tipped me off that they had some a little bit ago. So I ended up getting my second one through Camera Concepts there. In
Shameful plug.
Well,
shameless rather.
you can't get them hardly anywhere right now.
No,
You know, there's so much. The astronomy hobby has completely, with this COVID thing, it is just completely.
It's gone nuts.
It's been
It absolutely has.
Celestron is decimated.
Yep.
ZWO is on back orders. William
For
Hopkins
months.
is on back orders.
Months.
Oh my! It's incredible, and I'm loving it, because I think this is the best. You know, I hate to say it, but COVID-19 was the best thing that's happened to this hobby in a long time since GoTo. You know.
Well,
because we were all talking about, the reduction in just like in March,
Yeah.
we were talking about this, the reduction of light,
the light
and
pollution.
reduction in light pollution. You can, it's.
Well, and the thing is here, like a lot
I
of
can't
it,
explain it.
a lot of it, like East Valley Astronomy Club here in the East Valley of Arizona, was really hoping that they could do their in-person meetings, but they've seen a pretty significant spike from what I'm hearing of people still joining and doing the virtual meetings and things like that. They haven't been able to do any of their public outreach because of the being cautious with COVID, but
Right.
the interest is unbelievable, and a lot of people join in the Facebook group, which I'm a lurker on. I do frequent and talk on there sometimes, even though I'm not a member, especially with the amount of stuff I've been doing with you guys and getting a little bit more versed in this stuff.
Variety.
But it's been great seeing.
You know, a lot of the astronomy groups out there are doing, for obvious reasons, are doing a lot of virtual meetings. I know, I think Adsley on Long Island they do weekly meetings, and I believe they're all virtual at this point. And the Amateur Observer Society in New York does monthly meetings on Sundays. That's all on Cisco WebEx. Custer Observatory out east, same thing, more virtual stuff. And I don't think it's going to stop. I think, even if we find a way to have groupings of over 25, 50 people again, it's still going to continue, because it's just another untapped resource of people that want information that they don't want to go out of their house, or it's too far.
Yeah.
Or, they got kids and they want to bump in and out, or they got something going on at home. It's so much more that if you sit there and put the Zoom out there, you put everybody on an email hotline or something like that, and they all get the link. Next thing you know, instead of having your normal, and for those of you guys that are in, organizations, whether astronomy or otherwise, if you have 400, 500 people in a group, there's probably 30 or 40 maybe that are active.
Yeah.
You'll see when you got this virtual thing added into your meetings, all of a sudden we got 70, 80 people coming to meetings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Double the
Well,
number.
and one of the big things that we saw on at least what I was seeing with the evac group, with the SpaceX making it successfully out to ISS and back, and announcing the first official crew launch of Dragon 1 coming up here in October. Yep. So, the fact that we've got so much more public eye on space, people are looking back to want to get back into that. I know as a kid, my dad had a little observing scope, the Sears and Roebuck.
Yeah.
It wasn't spectacular, but
it Casco with a Bushnell.
Yep. But it whet the appetite, and what lit it for me was I've got a daughter, and we were buying her books about space, and she got just deadlocked on Saturn, and so I'm like, you know what, I'm going to get a scope where I can show her Saturn.
Yeah.
And I'm still working on that. Luckily, we got a lot of guys that are doing planetary imaging, so I'm able to pull those up on some of our different sites. And every time she sees it, she just lights up and does a little dance. It's great.
That's awesome.
But it's that type of thing that I really see a lot of, and even in the stuff that I post in my Facebook on my personal page. So many people from my wife's church and from the neighborhood are like, "Man, when you're doing this, can we come over and watch?" I'm like, "There's nothing to watch. I sit at my easy chair and look at my iPad." It's just, half the time it's like, "Oh, good, it's imaging."
Yeah.
Tim asks, any thoughts on moonlight focusers? And also, will the EAF be a game changer?
The ASI Air is a game changer.
Yeah.
The ASI Air is probably the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest hit to as far as a device that can do almost everything for you.
Well, you're taking PhD, SGP.
Yeah.
You're taking your eventually our autofocusing. You're doing your go-tos. You're able to do plate solving, polar alignment. You're doing all this inside of one device, one tabbed applet that is remarkably stable. Wi-Fi hotspot.
Yeah, Wi-Fi hotspot. I use Ethernet. So you can use Ethernet, all that. This is the, I think, thing that, and I know probably this is not something ZWO is going to do, because they've already opened it up to a lot of DSLR users.
Yeah.
You can, Sony, and Sony's the one you can't do it on.
Canon and Nikon.
You can use the ASI Air Pro. But if there was some sort of partnership, like say with a QHY or other companies, and I know they will not do this.
No,
but if they were able to have a partnership with other companies and able to be allowed, and they got, and you can have a QHY camera hooked up to an ASI Air, it would be even bigger, because then you get everybody.
See, they're suffering from what I call the Betamax syndrome.
Yeah.
That's what and I hope it doesn't go that way, because I think the ASI Air and the Pro line and what's in the future is a really, really awesome device. But if they stick to their own proprietary stuff, I think it's going to be an issue in the long run.
I beg to differ a little bit, only because they're all using the same sensors. They're all at the same price point. It's just like buying into a DSLR. You're not going to buy a Canon and a Nikon. You're going to buy into one brand. So they're not necessarily...
I mean, take me, for example. I bought a camera before CMOS chips.
Yep.
And so I have a CCD. I have a high-end CCD. and I can't use the ASIR
ASIR.
Pro
Yep.
because I have an S big camera.
Yep.
So that so now I got to buy if I wanted to use the ASIR Pro, I got to buy a new camera.
Yeah.
So and I got to buy a ZWO camera. So and I love ZWO stuff. I have 4 of their cameras. So I mean, it's not an issue with that. It's just that I think they're too locked into their own brand, I guess, to me.
Well, and there are other products out there that are similar that do allow the Altairs and QHY and things like that, but the stability's not there, and that's the biggest problem with app development at this level, because you're dealing with so many protocols. It's just never going to be a stable platform, and the amount of innovation that they're doing at ZWO for the ASIR Pro would be, a 20-year timeline. And this is just spitballing, but a 10 to 20-year timeline to be able to achieve with dealing with all those different platforms, because of the way the way it's all built. And I know Simon will chime in and tell me that I'm wrong, but
I'll make a video on it.
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, well, I have his video. I got to work on, I guess, at some point.
But but I'm impressed the way that ZWO, at least when it comes to right now to the ASIR, how they're listening to their customers and listening to the ideas that we're bringing and stuff like that. So it's been pretty cool. And for example, we were when I did my whole video of using SharpCap and the smart histogram, they were talking about, hey, that might be something interesting that maybe we can partner with them or talk with them about doing some sort of, making it a little bit easier to determine, exposure and stuff like that, and helping stuff out. So then, so they're getting some ideas. They're trying to, bring, make things easier. And I will honestly say, because I have SGP, and and I had a Canon, I had the Backyard EOS. So I've had all of these different software suites, to do my imaging. But for me right now, for the ease of use, nothing is right now compares to the ASIR, just for the simplicity of it.
Well, I gotta say something, because I'm a big fan of Primalucha Lab.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong, the price point of the ASIR at $300,
Can't
it's
beat
a
it
winner.
for what it is. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a winner. However, for a couple $100 more, you get the entry-level Eagle, and you don't have to worry about cameras. You don't have to worry about software.
That is true. That you have a great point there.
You don't have to worry. It's got its own power bridge that holds a lot more than the ASIR.
Mm-hmm.
It has 2 heaters, which the ASIR Pro does not do without adapters.
Yep.
It's got 7 USB ports, 4 3.0, 4 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
It's got Ethernet in. It's got HDMI out. I mean, but it's machine nice, just like the ASIR Pro. It's all done. They're both red.
Yep.
They're both red.
Well, it seems like everybody going Astro is doing red.
You're doing red.
Well, like I said last week, and they just put a email blast. S-Big finally came out with a CMOS camera.
Yep.
Yeah.
So another red camera. But the Eagle, I'm telling you, I have one, and I bought the Pro about a year ago.
Uh-huh.
And that totally transformed the way I do imaging.
See, and that was my trepidation with going to something like that, because my buddy Mark, that I talk about a lot on this show, he has the Eagle, and he was pushing me to kind of go that direction. My problem was, being the lazy armchair astronomer, I didn't want to have all those pieces and all those pieces of software that I had to go into and remember, oh crap, I got to go over here to do PhD. Oh, now I got to go to sequence generator.
Yeah.
You don't worry about it, does it?
The ease of use.
I'm imaging right now, doing a show at the same time, and I'm not doing anything. I can go to bed.
Yeah. And that's one thing I love about the ASIR Pro as well, is I got into this hobby because one, I love astronomy. I've loved it since I was a kid, and I've always admired people making these fantastic photos, and I've
Absolutely.
always wanted to learn how to do it. And it almost seemed too complicated for me. It seemed like it was out of reach. I figured these were super expert, really smart people that had secret ways to, create these photos. But when I got into this hobby and learned that, you know what, it's not as scary as I thought it was. And then I started getting into it more and more. And then I said, you know what, this is all fantastic the way I'm doing this. I'm learning, it's awesome. But now life sometimes gets in the way, and you have so many things, other things that are going on. I mean, I've got 3 kids, and then my wife. We're doing other things, but I also don't want to take away. And she doesn't want me to go take me. She doesn't want me not to do this hobby. She loves the passion I have for it, but life gets in the way. You have things to do. You have to get into sleep, this, that, or the other. So when the ASI Air came out, when the very first one came out, and I got it, I thought it was, I thought it was awesome. I mean, I was questioning a few things here and there of like, why do you have an Ethernet when you're not even using can't use Ethernet yet, because they were using the Raspberry Pi, but but they started growing and building on it, and it got slowly, started gaining momentum, started getting better and better. But that's one of the reasons why, like same thing with Eagle. We're at a point now where just within the past, I would say 3 years, when I just got started, that you can do people can get into this so much easier now and do this, hobby. It's an expensive hobby, but it doesn't have to be. But you can do so much more now, and especially with COVID now, we're able to look and see the stars and have fun and enjoy it. Like you, Jason, enjoying this stuff with your daughter.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this stuff with my son. I never thought I could do stuff like this, and it's so much easier now.
And you can't buy this type of an experience. Getting them to look beyond a foot in front of their face, and getting them to understand there's something bigger out there.
There is, exactly.
Yeah. One of the things
really kind of dwarfs the mind a little bit when you I try and my wife, we tried the visual thing.
Mm-hmm.
We've been married for almost 10 years, and I tried to show her what I see, and I'd be, oh, look at that, I can see I'm 51, man. She's like, where is it? I said, it's right there. She's like, I don't see it. I said, where is it? It's right there.
It's right there, but it's a little fuzzy.
That's right there. That's it. And she's like, yeah, okay. I gotta go inside.
Yeah.
But what? Now we're doing. I'm showing her the pictures, and I made her the picture of Heart Nebula and that kind of stuff. And now she kind of is enjoying. She's like, she'll tell me right now, oh, I don't like that picture. Go with something else.
Well, and that's been one of the cool things for me because, of course, I start imaging. My daughter goes to bed, and then I'm usually working on the pictures in the morning when she gets up. So her thing is she comes down, she sees Daddy punching at his iPad, getting everything set up and getting it going and getting all the, pick a target, get it to slew over, make sure it's focused, all from my armchair, do hugs and kisses, put her to bed. And then she gets up in the morning, and by then I'm usually most of the way through processing and at least have a composited image together, stacked. And, she's seeing both ends of it. She doesn't see all the stuff in between.
Right.
The 40 hours in between.
Yeah. But, the fun part for her is, Daddy, what did you shoot this week? So that's been really cool, and that just drives me to keep trying. And that's really what it's about, and I hope, I can make the announcement now. My wife's about 14 weeks pregnant, so we'll have a little boy coming. So
congrats, bro.
Congrats, man.
Get my little man, so hopefully in another 3 to 5 years, we'll have him wanting to put his scope up next to Daddy's and play with Daddy's.
Nice.
So, but
congrats.
That's the thing. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I want them to look at something other than what we're seeing in the news these days, and
Mhm. And it being in front of their phones.
yeah, you
Yeah.
know, and I'm guilty of it with my daughter. You know, especially with
I
everything
am
going on with
too.
COVID. It's like, okay, honey, just go grab your pad. Let me log you into YouTube Kids, and you get
Yep.
an hour. And I frantically go through editing, and then it's like, okay, you're up from your quiet time. So crap. Here's PBS Kids. Oh, look, Bluey's on. Let's go watch Bluey.
Nice.
But
All right. So I guess let's see. Any other questions?
one of the things I
Um,
wanted to circle back to on Eric's video, and something you didn't touch on, I don't know if you've played with it, but part of plate solving and whatnot that they came out with 1.4 is
Mhm.
annotation. Have you played with that?
No, I haven't.
You really
No.
should look at it. So there's two things I wanted to kind of cover quick before we move into sequence generator stuff.
Sure.
So annotation is really cool. So you can go into your tools and open up and turn on annotation, and it will draw circles around the celestial body that it sees in its plate solve. So whatever you're pointed at, it'll give you the NGCs, whatever's in its catalog, it'll take and draw a ring around it and give you a green font identifier of what that celestial body is, be it NCG, IC, Messier. So that's kind of cool, and you can save it that way.
Yep. Okay.
So you can save it over top, even of an image that you've gone and captured. You can go into your image library on it while it's imaging, and you can pull up an image. It'll show you the actual FITS file. It's a JPEG reference of the FITS, but it is looking at the FITS, and it will plate solve it, and you can annotate it and export it with the annotation on it. One of the other cool things that they added also in live view or focus, more so in preview, you can actually do a go-to. So if you push and hold on a subject, it'll blink and put a ring, and you can tell it to go to this object. So it
nice.
makes it really easy to recenter, especially if you don't want to land on an object where there's multiple things. You can pick a point. It doesn't have to be anything. It's an arbitrary point. You can go center here, and you poke the button, and it'll center them out to that point because it's looking at the coordinate, not the object.
And so this is, but that's separate from the annotate piece, correct?
It's separate from the annotate because it's in the preview function, which is where you're going to set up your go-to anyways.
Yep.
So when you're in preview, and I believe you can do it in focus as well, but I think it's primarily in preview, you just point on another spot and tell it to go to, and it'll take and recenter on that spot.
Nice.
So that makes it really easy to be able to take and kind of reconfigure outside of just doing rotation.
Right.
With your camera or the rotators that we're all kind of getting accustomed to having, whether it's an auto rotator or manual. That go-to function has been huge in the ASI era, and it's a very discussed feature.
It's probably very under advertised.
Yeah, and so it's something that I kind of want to try to get out there a little bit more as we're talking about these. So that's one of the reasons why I want to do a similar video to what you did, kind of going through some of these features. But I think I'm going to hold off till 1.5 gets closer to launch, and then maybe I'll do a recap on 5.
I'll be looking forward to checking that out. But no, and see, when you have like a scope like I have with the Rasa, it doesn't have a rotator.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes very difficult. Like with the Dark Shark, and when you have a target that you don't have any nebulosity, it's just nothing more than dust lanes. It's very hard to see exactly where you are. And so that annotate feature, if had I known about it, I've seen it there, but I just never bothered to really use it. Had I known about it, that would have probably saved me a little bit of extra time on my framing.
Yeah. I don't think I have any here on my phone, which of course I won't be able to get onto the screen very quickly, but that annotate function has been huge, not for anything else other than I typically go in and get one frame that I'll save off just so that I can tell what's the sequence is when I'm doing things. It just helps kind of keep me on track and on task a little bit. I'm just trying to see if I got any of my images here that have annotation turned on.
Yeah, because
So unfortunately,
right,
it's still daylight, so I can't pull anything up on the scope. That's fine. It's on Eric and I right now.
yeah, that's fine. But right now, I'm going after another target, a target that I've been. If you ever have ideas, guys, if you ever have or need ideas of stuff, one thing you can check out, and I believe it's still free to at least check out, is check out Astrobin. If you haven't checked out astrobin.com, um, this is a website that it used to be free. It still is to a certain extent, but you can actually they have a gallery of of amateur astrophotographers are images. I have a gallery there, and yeah, oh yeah,
So it, you know,
that is cool.
but it gives you the basis of what you need. And again, I just told it to save it to my camera roll, so it had everything right there.
Yep.
It's convenient. It puts a circle around the entire object, so the bigger it is in frame, the bigger the circle is going to be. You can't change the coloring right now. I don't think that will really change a whole lot. Let's see here. I had another good one here. So this was some of my early stuff, but this is looking at some of the NGCs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it is a huge game changer, and part of so that little white sphere that I thought was, oh my god, I found an asteroid or a meteor.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have an IR security camera in your backyard.
Okay. Yeah, you talked about that a while back.
So that's what it looks like. But yeah, so you guys can kind of get a glimpse of that, and I'll pull up some more stuff. And we'll talk about it more when I do my video. But it is a heavily underutilized feature of that platform.
I'm gonna check it out now.
Yeah.
Now you got me interested. So I've got to check that out.
Well, the funny thing for me, guys, is the fact that I didn't think I could even have anything to put into the show. I came on wanting to be part of kind of the back end where nobody really saw me and I just hid.
Now you're part of the family.
You're part of it, man. You're in it.
So the fact that I've been able to interject and you guys have been kind enough to let me kind of say my 2 cents and have a little bit more breath in the show than I thought I was going to. It's been kind of fun, and I'm loving
awesome.
I'm loving getting to see our viewers and stuff like that interjecting and having things to say. So it's been a great reliever during this whole COVID thing to kind of see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak.
Yeah, I definitely and I'm on it. I'll be honest with you. I look forward to coming on here, every Wednesday night and hanging out with you guys and talking about this stuff. This has been a blast.
Yeah, me too, man. I love doing this stuff.
So
no, and I love what we're doing as an entire group. Not just the three of us, but there's other people in the background that are helping kind of grow this, and that are partners with this. But the things that we have in store, just for AstroWorld TV and what we're doing, we're going to be making a large thumbprint on this trade and this craft. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited.
And I'm excited for that. I never thought, have the opportunity for that. I'm stoked.
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely been a fun ride, and I love doing this stuff. I love the people that we come into contact. I've made so many more, friends.
Yes.
That I wouldn't have had if this community wasn't around, and I think it's a wonderful thing. I think we're being rewarded with a lot of the people coming in and contributing to the show other than us.
Yeah. No, and we got a lot of stuff in the pipeline that we're really excited to bring to you guys. I would love to see more live viewers, but the fact that we're getting so many click-throughs on a weekly basis is it's been really awe-inspiring. So
absolutely.
I tell you, if it wasn't for this, this forum and having this opportunity to hang out with you guys, I wouldn't have even thought about doing the stuff that I did with this whole YouTube channel thing.
Yep.
And making these videos.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even cross my mind. I mean, we were talking just me and Dan the other day, and talking about, yeah, I'm gonna get a screen. I'm getting the this. I'm getting that. Great, I've created a monster.
Well, and it's
That's
not
right. You know what?
secretive.
It gets very addictive.
It
Yeah.
does.
Addictive, and you know what? Because you want to get that next video out. You want to get that
Yep.
next video out. You want to do all this stuff because you feel like you're actually contributing and helping the community
Yes.
and doing it. And that's the biggest thing about, and
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why I believe this is the like the second generation AstroWorld. The first was Cosmic Charlie and Declination Dan. But and I hope, Charlie, if you're watching, you're more than welcome to come on again whenever you still
Yep.
you still know what you're talking about. You still got it. Just you got to come on.
Yeah.
But that's the reason why we always just wanted to learn from the people that were watching to make us better, and hopefully we can make other people better as well as we learn from them.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing about AstroWorld, and we're just so happy that it's being responded to in such a loving way that it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just in the conversation today, I think we can talk a little bit about it because Simon will probably watch tomorrow because it's tomorrow for him
Yep.
already. But even watching Simon the last 2-3 weeks, man, he's bought a dedicated camera, green screen,
Yeah,
microphones, prompter. I mean, the dude is
for
getting
those
ready
of
to
you
do
guys
some
who don't know who
serious
Simon is,
content.
Yeah.
Simon is an astrophotographer in the Southern Hemisphere that has been part of the team for a while, but he's from New Zealand, so it's 15 or 16-hour difference. So
Yep.
it's tomorrow over there, and I think it's like, I don't know, it's 8 in the morning over there or something like that. It's some
Yeah,
crazy,
something like that. Yeah.
yeah, some crazy thing over there. But you know what? I gotta be careful when I text
Call.
to the group. Because when I'm texting at 8 in the morning, it's
It's
2 in the
bedtime for
morning
him.
over
Yeah.
there tomorrow.
Yeah.
But he's an astrophotographer from New Zealand, and he is I guess the fourth honeymooner, and he's going to be putting out videos so he can be more involved in it, and we welcome Simon as well. So.
He actually uploaded a video that I don't know if I'm editing or he's editing. I'll have to see if I can find some.
I don't know. I saw the texts met back and forth. I don't know.
Yeah, I figure
So
I'll
if you
talk to
need
him
any
tomorrow.
graphics or stuff for it, let me know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But he got some cool stuff together and talking about the Southern Hemisphere and what it's like to image down there and some of the things that they're looking at
Yeah.
Yep.
for August. So we're going to have to hurry up and get that edited, seeing as we're nearing the end.
Yeah.
Being the 20th here or 19th. So
we got a bunch of comments here from Tim.
Yep.
Um,
Tim's really active today. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tim.
No, this Tim. This is not Tim Cowell.
No, Tim
This is-
Irish.
I don't know who Tim.
Tim
Might be a first time
Tim-
viewer because I don't recognize the name. Looking into a dedicated camera, but focus is my issue to overcome at the moment. I'm waiting for darkness here to test a new mount. Oh, it's Mr. Bramwell.
Okay.
He's testing a new mount. I think he's got the CEM 60. I think I saw. But yeah, a whole bunch of stuff going on over there. I should probably do it. Just ask for forgiveness. Get a camera. Yeah, just get a camera, Tim.
Just go
Get
for
a
it.
pretty
Just do
one.
it.
Yeah, just do it. Get a cool camera.
Just,
No.
you-
Honestly, if you're gonna do it, and go with ASA or ZWO cameras, I'd recommend the 294 or the 533.
Yep.
They're the $900 price point. You cannot go wrong.
Yep.
You're going to get the no amp glow with the 533, but you're going to get extremely good imaging out of either of them, and they both come cooled. I would definitely
that's
go
a cool one.
OSC. And just get 1 or 2 filters to start. We're all really kind of gangbusters right now for the L Extreme.
Yeah, extreme. Yeah.
Yeah.
But really, for price point to kind of get your teeth cut, I would say do the L Pro and the L Enhanced are going to be your best all around. And then once you kind of get your teeth cut and you figure out how to color and balance, then look at getting the L Extreme to add to your repertoire. Unless you're a really heavy light polluted area, then that L Extreme will really shine. But
Oh yeah.
I I started with just the L Pro and L Enhanced and the 533, and then upgraded to the 2600. And
Nice.
it's well worth
I-
the time
I-
and investment.
I stand corrected. It's Mr. Bramwell has a Hobum Crux mount.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Somebody's got money.
Yeah, that's money. Because isn't that the one with the harmonic drive?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I was looking at one of those, and it's supposed to be really light, and the payload, you can put on some serious, pretty good weight on. I don't know if the 170, but they got another step up, and the guiding and the low RMS that you can get off of the, I don't know, it's crazy. That's some money though, but dude,
the 170 goes for about 6,200.
Yeah. You got one like another step up, just above the 170 that I was even looking at it.
Yeah, but this thing is ridiculous. Let's see this.
I mean, you can go. It's almost like you don't need a guide scope practically. You can go unguided with that thing.
Yeah. The head weight is 11 pounds.
That's
and
it. Yes. That's one thing I love about the CEM is that
it's so light.
It's so light, because the weight is placed on the center of gravity of the mount versus others, like your CGX and things like that, were towards the front of the mount, and the payload equals the weight of the mount, on some of these, and that crux. I had an eye on it. Trust me, I'm having an eye on that one.
No backlash, no meridian flip. You can go 10 minutes unguided.
Yeah.
Hold it in one hand, lose 50 pounds.
Yeah. That's sick. That is awesome.
Great. Now he's going to be selling his CM60.
Yeah, right. Oh, speaking of my CM60, it was just actually just it just goes to show how small of a community and small world it is. I was talking. I got this new CM60. I bought it off of Cloudy Nights. Turns out, the person I bought it from is Chris Astrophotography off of Facebook.
Oh.
and funny enough, because here he was, and this is, I hope I'm not getting him into trouble or anything like that, but we were talking, and when I asked him about it, before I even realized who it was, and the only way I found out who it was because he has now a CEM70. And at first, because it was just a funny story that I found funny. That initially, I'm buying this, and I'm asking him, like, why are you getting rid of it? Because it's such an awesome mount. What are you doing? Why are you selling it off? And he said, I'm getting out of the hobby. And I'm like, okay, sure, all right, that's fine. Then I can see why you're getting out of it. Then I can see why you're selling it. And then suddenly, a week or two later, on Facebook, I see a picture of him I see a picture of the new CEM70 in his observatory. And I'm like, wait a minute, that picture in that observatory looks kind of familiar than the one that I bought here. And then what gave it away is his observatory. He named it Barking Beagle.
Yep, I saw that.
And the emails that we were corresponding with were from Barking Beagle. And I was like, wait a minute, I know this guy. I was putting two and two together. But Chris, big shout out. I love the CEM60. I know you're going to love the 70. I just thought it was a really cool coincidence. And it also shows, we're a small community. It's a very small, community, and we're all having fun. It's just a small world, and it's a funny coincidence. So a lot of fun.
That's fun.
I know Dan had started talking about Eddie Z's comment on the 533. Will it match up with any scope? The answer is yes, just about every scope. And if you want to know how it's going to do it, I would recommend Sky Safari or
Astro.tools, Telescopius.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can input the
Blackwater
scope.
Skies.
You can input the pixel information about the camera, and you can actually mate it up with the different scopes and look at objects and see how it's going to frame out. and you can compare and add in the info for the 533, the 283. So you can add multiple cameras, and the nice thing with using those is they don't necessarily have to be ZWO cameras. If you decide not to go that route, you can put any camera in, and it's not camera specific. You're looking at the pixel details, so your resolution and pixel pitch. So then you use your focal length and aperture to kind of figure out what the scope's going to be able to handle, and it'll give you a pretty darn good representation of what that scope combo will benefit you.
Yeah. And I've been really impressed with the 533 as far as the versatility, because I do have several different scopes, and it's been a great match for each and every one of them. I can work really well with any of those scopes that I have.
Well, and one of the cool things with the 533, it's not zooming or cropping like a APS-C, because it's smaller than an APS-C because it's a 1-inch, it's a square sensor. But you have to think of it as it's looking at a center slice of your optic. So it's going to look at a smaller slice of the sky, which is going to inherently look bigger in your final image. It's not any bigger. Pixel pitch is pixel pitch. You're just looking at a narrower region of your glass.
All right. I have to step away for a second because just like Dan, it is 9:30 here, and I need to go and focus really quick.
Focus.
So Dan, if you would.
Yeah, that's right. You got the answer. You can't autofocus yet.
No, we can't.
Ouch.
We just have the EAF, It's all good.
I'm just playing.
But be right back.
All right, so then I'll start talking a little bit about Sequence Generator Pro.
Now that it's an hour and 30 minutes into the show.
An hour and 30 minutes, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We started talking about a whole bunch. I'm having some guiding issues, but we'll talk about it. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Sequence Generator Pro, and what I'm going to do here. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Hour and 30 minutes later. I'll try and make this quick. Where is Wirecast? Wirecast.
It should be Rendezvous, not Wirecast, right?
What's that?
Should be Rendezvous, not Wirecast, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant. And you can see my screen now.
Yep.
Right?
I see our Rendezvous screen.
So, you see the eagle?
I see your desktop, yep.
All right, good. I just want to make sure. All right, so this is Sequence Generator Pro. Now, for those of you guys that are AstroWorld fans and have been watching the channel, I've actually put on 2 videos, 1 and 2A, of Sequence Generator Pro. So if you want to learn more about it, feel free to go take a look at those videos. But we're going to talk a little bit about sequencing here. A couple things as far as sequence, and I'm actually running a sequence right now. I'm actually taking a photo of in O3. Believe it or not, if you can't see it, the Pelican Nebula is right here, and then part of the North American Nebula is over here on the top left. So when Eric was talking about sequencing with the ASI Pro, Sequence Generator Pro is a little bit more versatile as far as what you could do things, as far as different equipment is concerned. As you could see, I got a whole bunch of different equipment up here. I got Nest Big camera, I got Nest Big filter wheel, I have a moonlight focuser, I have an EQ mod syntoscope, and if you wanted to put some other stuff in there, I got my manual flat box. I sold my rotator, but you can put all this other stuff in there. So you could add a whole bunch of stuff to your routine. Once you do, and I don't know if it'll let me do it during the sequence, a framing and mosaic wizard, which is one of the best selling points of this entire program as far as I'm concerned. If you want to image, let's say, M42, all you do is type M42. Hopefully it works while I'm doing the sequence. I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, there we go. Let me get rid of this. And there's M42. Okay. Now, because of the settings that you put in, it knows your pixel size, it knows your pixel scale. So all I gotta do is draw a square on it and frame it however I want. And if I want to rotate it, if I gotta rotate, okay, let's try that again. Oh, what happened? It finished the picture, so it reset everything. So frame mosaic wizard M42, make the square. Okay, now if I wanted to rotate it, because I got a rotator, I can rotate it and frame it any way I want. So if I want the running man on the left and frame it like that, I can frame it like that. So now, as far as the sequence is concerned, I could do create sequence, make a name for it, and we're going to pen targets because I got a lot of stuff on my sequence. Okay, and there's M42. And let me take this off before it goes there. So I'm doing the Pelican net right now. So M42, it makes a sequence for you. Okay, so now you could say, okay, I want to do a light frame based on the filters I got. I want to do my luminance filter. You could add a suffix if you want to add some special significance to your filter. So if I want to do, let's see, where is it? Luminance light, I could do that as a suffix. And how long of an exposure you want. You could either write in seconds. So if you want 2 minutes, you could do 120. Or you could just do 2 minutes, or 5 minutes, or 10 minutes, or 10 seconds, whatever you want to do. So let's do 5 minutes. Any binning you may want to do here, and how many frames you want. Let's say 10. Okay. Okay, so now it shows 0 out of 10. Okay, it'll tell you eventually, because once you hit run, it'll tell you, oops, sorry. It'll tell you how much remaining time you have. So it's going to take 53 minutes. Okay. I'm not going to go through the file naming keys because that's another video altogether. But you could do all different filters. So if I want to keep on going to, once this is done, I want to do a red, so lights, red filter, and where is it? Light, red. And again, I want to do 5 minutes, and we'll do 10 of those. And that should add to the time when I do that. Now it's going to take up 1 hour and 46 minutes. And then you go down the list and you go red, green, blue, and luminance, and make your targets. And once you're ready to go and you have everything running, you would hit, this would say run sequence. You click run sequence and it goes. It literally just goes. It will sit there, it will autofocus for you. It will plate solve as long as you have the right programs that are running the plate solving. So you'll need to download some stuff. You'll still need to download all of the program files that you need. So you'll need PhD. You'll need all your ASCOM drivers. You'll need, obviously, SGP, obviously. You'll need your plate solving routine. So we either plate solve to pinpoint, AstroTortilla, whatever you're running, you're going to need that. And that's pretty much it. If you want to download an offline plate solver as well, such as ANSVR, you can do that as well. I want to see if there's any questions that are. Are there any questions running around?
I'm not really seeing any yet.
Oh, good.
Nope.
It's been a great show so far. Annotations, great tip, agreed. Okay, good.
I taught Tim Bramwell something. He's going to go play with annotations, and that's cool.
Yeah, he's gonna throw pictures tonight. I'm telling you.
You know, and it's a cool feature that was one of the things that we talked about in the beta group. So it's kind of neat that I was able to enlighten a few people to that.
Yeah, and if you go into, and I know a lot of people don't know about this, and I'm going to go a little bit off a little bit. You're still seeing my screen though, right?
Yes, I'm seeing you
Okay,
at a search window browser.
If you go into Google Astrometric upload. And you go to astrometry.net, and I'll just sign in. Okay. Same thing with, let's see if I'll just do this. Not one of my best pictures, but we'll do it anyway. But it does the same thing as far as the annotations are concerned.
Yeah, it's actually using the same annotation engine that they used in the ASIR.
Probably the same exact thing. Yeah,
Yep.
It's green. It's got circles.
Yep. Everybody uses the same reference. It's all open source code. All they've done was integrate it,
Okay.
same as they've done with our guiding is a version of PhD, which was open source. So
Yep.
they used it, they altered it to work on that platform and tweaked it to work well within the environment. Same with the plate solving and everything else. It's other pieces that have done really well as an individual piece has been integrated into the existing hardware architecture and put into the
Yeah, I
environment.
think I like this site because I can throw stuff up here before I put it on like Astrobin,
Yep.
and it'll save the full size. So you can kind of share it with people and say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Without doing, revisions and stuff like that Astrobin kind of makes you do.
Okay. Yeah, I know you were
So
talking when we
you
were
go
pushing
into-
files back and forth
What
with
was that?
Simon. When we were all pushing files back and forth with Simon earlier this week, you had pointed to working on this to share files back and forth.
Yeah, for pictures and stuff like that. If you want,
Yep.
just throw stuff up there. I mean, I got like multiple, like you'll see, I got multiple shots of different things that that I was just playing with and just asking for input from people.
Yep.
That I didn't really want to put on Astrobin to show everybody.
Yep.
So I got different stuff that I was playing with. And that's we shouldn't let Dan off the hook that easy. What? What did I do?
I don't know. I think Eddie's just trying to give you crap.
Eddie always gives me crap. Eddie's a good guy, though. Eddie and I have been talking for like 2 years, and we keep on saying every year we're going to meet each other in Cherry Springs, and now COVID hit, and so I don't know. But anyway, back to Sequence Generator Pro. So that's how you run a sequence. Basically, I've been running. Let's see, I've been imaging for an hour now, with dithering an hour and a half. And I've been sitting around doing nothing. You can see my PhD graph right here. I mean, I'm having issues with guiding tonight, though. It's not doing as good as.
What's your seeing like? Looks like you got
I
some
don't know.
clouds.
I got a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Well, looking at all that noise, it looks like you got some seeing issues. There might be some haze or clouds.
Yeah, maybe some high clouds coming through.
Yeah.
Because my guiding last night was like 0.7.
Well, and the fact that your HFD is at 4.2 with that star, I'd be willing to point you got some high cloud.
Yeah, you can start seeing halos around the stars. And you know what? This is a direct consequence of using a cheap guide scope. That's what that is. So I sold my Evo guide and my 178. Sold them.
Oops.
Got a good deal on cloudy nights. I was trying to lighten up the load a little bit.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'll go to the 120 and the mini ZWO.
Yeah.
Is what I got.
Yeah. I mean, we all have that, man. Heck, look at me.
Oh, you're back.
With the 6. Yeah, look at me with the 1600. I should have never sold that camera, but hey, if I didn't have it, I wouldn't have got the CEM 60. So hey.
Yeah, well, now I just went back on cloudy nights and I rebought the Evo guide back for 200. And so not only did I lose money selling it, I probably lost money buying it again. Although the guy did throw in a dew strap and a batten knob mask for it, and a couple other things. So I got a couple things for $200.
Okay.
And I think originally new is $275. Sometimes it's on sale for like $225 during the dope doublet discount sale, whatever they got going on. But usually it's $275, so I got it for $200. So I get that, and I gotta pick the 178 up again tomorrow, and
Okay.
and then I'll just be back to my old guiding.
My thing is that I've just got to start, taking time to learn and understand a lot about, the guiding, what to look for as far as, HFD, the guide star and stuff like that. Because I've got the 290 here, and I'm looking, and my HFD is 4.58, 4.32. It's fluctuating. So this is a kind of a bright star. I don't know if I should go for a brighter star, or if I should go for something a little bit with less magnets, higher magnet.
Well, you want to look at something that's not oversaturated.
Yeah.
So a decent signal to noise ratio, somewhere about 20-25.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing with ASIR. You don't have that information here. You just basically have the HFD and the peak.
Yeah, that's all you got.
That's all you get.
And then your dither goes in, and you're guiding at 2.3.
Yeah.
All that.
So let me go back.
So we were talking about Sequence Generator Pro and just making the sequence.
Okay.
Ran over how to kind of make. You can actually take different types too. I don't take different types at the same time. I actually make a different sequence. So I have a different sequence. If you look under my files, I got flats and darks here. I don't keep that with my lights because I found it's a little bit easier to make a different sequence for flats and darks, because then I could use the same profile and I could turn off the plate solver, because sometimes it tries to plate solve in the dark. So that's not very good.
No.
So I'm not gonna hit it now because I'm imaging, so I can't really show it to you. But so you can run dark flats and buys in the same sequence. I just don't do it. It's just like a preference, one of my preferences.
Right.
But nothing's stopping you from doing it.
No, SGP is an awesome piece of software. I mean,
It really is. It really is.
Because it's a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, and you know what? We want to talk about, what is it, 1.3 guiding that I was having right now?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that looks pretty damn good. Little bit.
Yeah.
But that star looks good. They got some cosmic rays going. And the stars overall look pretty good.
Yeah, I should share with you my yesterday's imaging where guiding was good, but I'm getting elongated stars. I should show you. I've got it on Pix Insight, the blink.
Yeah, now I'm having crappy guiding with decent stars.
Yeah. All right, so I'm just waiting for.
Yeah, I'm at like 1.4. Something's going on. It's got to be the seeing. I think you're right, Jason.
I can see the clouds moving through on your crosshair on the right.
Yep, I see it.
So I'm seeing a high-level cloud move through. So you're seeing that particulate move. So you've definitely got some high-level clouds. It's thin, but it's consistent.
Yeah, you know what? That sucks, because the last thing I need to finish is the O3. That's the only thing, and I'm done. I'll have over 20 hours.
Wow.
But it's not, it's not really working tonight. I may be going to bed early, because if these high clouds are, yeah, look, it's right over me.
Yep.
Right
over your house.
Oh,
where I live, right here. That's where I live. Unbelievable.
What weather app are you using?
What's that?
What's the weather app you're using right there?
This is called Windy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
like
site. I've
Windy
used it.
because it's got 3 different models that it goes by,
Yeah.
and they all update at different times. So so that's the NAM forecast. I don't know. We could see where that, and that's the most recent forecast right now. And then they got the GFS forecast, which is totally clear.
Right. Holy
But
crap! No wonder.
yeah,
Sorry.
See
I
why
just
I'm
got
not imaging?
no.
well, yeah.
That part one that of the video. It's almost 4 gig. No wonder it took so long to upload.
Yeah, it just finally finished. It's 4.1 gig.
Yeah. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, there goes my NAS. Now it's full. I'm gonna have to get another 16 terabyte
There
expansion
you
drive.
go.
Can't afford it after today.
I pushed it over.
I think I've only got 4 terabyte left out of
Oh
20.
yeah.
Apparently, Tom wants to know if you could. Apparently, did I curse a lot tonight?
I guess I didn't catch it.
I
I
don't
know I let one slip. When I switched over to my computer, I did say a 4-letter word. I don't know if it went through because I think my microphone cut off.
Well, your mic is always on because of all of the talking when other people are up. All of our mics are constantly live.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
So
each of your
Tom wants
mics
to
is.
know if he could swear like me when he's on the show next week.
Well, you know, it's YouTube. We don't have to meet FCC regulations.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I try and keep it. You know, even though we're not a child-friendly video, I like
Yeah.
to kind of keep it child-friendly.
Yeah, because you never know. Because kids could be interested in astronomy.
Yeah.
And learn.
Yep.
Exactly. We don't want to turn people off from the hobby.
Exactly.
Tom says that he has a license for Prism, but SGP works so well. Currently, I'm in a don't fix it unless it's broke mind frame. I am with you.
And that's a very good mind frame to be in. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep.
And better yet,
Nothing
if it ain't broke, don't update it.
more when you're upgrading something to make it better when nothing's wrong, and then you spend 2 weeks fixing what you upgraded.
Yep. Or you can't go back.
Or you can't, or you sell it and you got to rebuy it.
Yeah.
You know, it was working fine. I just, I got some advice and I listened to it, and now I'm rebuying stuff.
So okay, so I'm getting some good guiding here. So right now I'm at 0.6.
Nice.
So
I do want to cycle back to something that was said in the comments.
yes.
I saw that I believe it was Tom Bramwell mentioned that where is it? One of the observatories is being threatened by fire right now.
Oh, in California?
Yeah, I want to give
really?
a shout out to my friends at the Lick Observatory tonight. Fire is dangerously close to the facility. Keep them in your thoughts. We completely concur with this. I don't know where Lick Observatory is, but I know that a couple months ago we had the fire down in Tucson, and it ran right up to and pretty darn close to the observatories down there in Tucson, Mount Lemmon.
So Lick is actually in Mount Hamilton, California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know they declared a state of emergency pretty much for all of California. The governor did because of these fires.
Yeah, we had a really bad monsoon popped up out of nowhere. They kind of said it was going to come in but be another meh. And it ended up with a lot of lightning and ended up starting a fire right where all the other fires have pretty much been this year. Running up around Lake Roosevelt, which is one of our large reservoirs here.
Sure.
We've scorched probably all told close to 300,000 acres or better.
Oh my gosh.
I can't believe you guys still got land left.
Well, we got a lot of land.
I mean,
and a lot
every
of the
year, I mean, things are getting scorched.
Well, and the problem that we're having is the area that's getting scorched is really rough terrain. It's the wilderness area to the east of where I live. But Four Peaks, which is one of our premier vistas that everybody can kind of see, and it's really easy to pick out, of course, because it has 4 peaks. it actually burned. We watched the fire climb right up it and go right over the peak and down the other side.
Wow.
But it burned right up to the lake in a few spots up at Roosevelt on the south west end, and this one was a lightning class fire that started 2 days ago. That I don't know where they're at containment wise, but it's been ripping pretty good for 2 days now.
Wow.
So I can completely concur with our friends up there in California because they've been getting hit pretty hard there north of LA area. In that
we just want
Yours.
cancel 2020. Can we just cancel it?
right?
Yeah, thank you, please.
I want to cancel my
So if
subscription.
anybody's interested, I'll share my screen with the ASI Air. And I'm using BlueStacks. And BlueStacks, if anybody's interested, it is a free Android emulator that you can download on your PC, and then you can also then download the ASI Air app and then run your ASI Air right from your desktop. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one of the next things I got to add to my repertoire.
Yeah, so not bad guiding. Let's see if I can crank it down a little more. See if I do it once more. And this is with the 290mm mini. So these stars are much sharper than I would have gotten off of the 120.
Yeah.
So that smaller pixel size, higher resolution because it's a 2.1 megapixel camera versus a 1.2 of the 120. So you're getting a lot better definition and much better resolution on your guide stars. So which is why it costs, another $100 more than the 120. So, and I think what is it? The one step up after that, is it the 174? That's like almost 500. And I was reading somewhere that the 174, they're more recommending that. Okay, I must have got it, it bounces. But they're recommending that more for planetary guiding or, your larger focal length scopes, I was believing, if you're going to use like an off-axis guider.
Well, and a couple of people made the recommendation, and Mark took it, and I had been kind of kicking around the idea, is using the 178, not a mini, but it's the uncooled version of their planetary camera.
Okay.
They're about $300-400.
Yeah, 369, I think.
Yeah, 369. Yeah. So it's a little bit cheaper than the 290 or the 174 minis. But I want to say it's like a 2.4 or 2.6 megapixel.
Yep.
And even Simon has commented that would be a better guide camera for most of what you would need. I'm still in the 120s.
I used the 178 for a while.
Yeah.
The uncooled 178. And that thing was awesome.
Yeah.
For guiding, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I hemmed and hawed. I ended up buying Mark's 120 he wasn't using. So I have two 120s and I have two of the Ioptron scopes. So I have a 50mm and a 60mm guide scope.
Okay.
And then I bought some smaller 3-point rings to keep it a little bit closer to the center of gravity.
And what I'm using with this one, and this is all in the first half of the video that I'm going to be posting on YouTube, is I'm using the 290 with the ZWO 60mm f4, and it has a 280mm focal length. And what's cool is that it's almost the perfect match, because with the Rasa and the 533 or the 294, because if you go to astronomy.tools, there's a guide scope compatibility calculator that you can enter in your information. And here, why don't we just show you? I'll just go to guide. Let me just get it going here in just a sec. And training apps.
Eric, your mic's all
Astronomy.tools.
wonky.
Sorry. Yep.
Your mic's all wonky.
Is it? Yeah, it's acting goofy. Yeah, I'm getting red lights. Let me reset it. Yeah, the red light is on. Let me unmute. Any better? No, it's still acting. It's still acting goofy.
Yeah, it's still acting goofy. Don't have it back yet, bud.
No, no mic.
No mic. You'll get there.
I'll get there.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm using my webcam right now. My default.
That's all right.
But if this works, this works.
Yep.
So let me go here to astronomy.tool. So let me share my screen here.
Yep. As soon as you do, I'll take your full screen.
Yep. Okay. So if you go here to calculators and you go to guide scope suitability, this gives you really good information on pairing your scope, your imaging scope and imaging camera with the right type of guide camera and scope for for your guiding setup. And so right now, the imaging ratio, just by default, is doing this. They say it should be 1:1, which is, top notch. So let's just go here to Celestron, my row. Okay, so the RASA 8 with the ZWO 533, and then they don't have yet. I put it in here, but they don't have it yet. The ZWO guide scope. So I know it's a 280 focal length, but then I will also go and use the 290 and right there, and you can see right there at your imaging and guiding ratio, I'm at 1:1.
Eric, that's the 290, not the mini.
This is it's the 290, not the mini, but it's the same pixel size, isn't it?
I don't believe so. But I'm not 100% certain. The mini
Because I can always double check.
I thought the mini had a smaller sensor.
It may have a smaller sensor. Let me go here to WO. Let me take a quick look here. The 290 mm mini, what is its pixel size?
Yours, it should be right there. Go down to the chart, the pictures. Yep.
Because usually, I thought it gives you your pixel size. Just gotta look for it. I thought it was 2.9. Oh, here it is. It should be down here, shouldn't it? No. There are some comparisons. I know where it is. Yeah, here's your pixel size. 2.9 microns.
Okay.
So, yeah. So 2.9 micron. Yeah, so 1:1.
Okay.
So,
Oh, just to see what the difference was in guiding ratio.
yeah.
So the ZWO Mini, let's see, the ZWO Mini, I was guiding at a ratio from 1 to 3.63. That's what the ZWO guides go.
Yeah. Is that the 30?
With the Evo guide, with the 178,
Yeah.
I'm 1 to 0.73.
See, that's killer.
So I can't wait to get my guide stuff back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't wait. And plus, I'll be at a little bit more magnification. I'll be able to see past the telephone wires. All right, what do we got? Any questions?
Any questions?
Mostly
John,
statements.
thank you for the suggestion of Windy. Yeah, Windy is just completely awesome, and they can have an app too on iOS and Android. So if you get it, and it's really, really, it's great because it updates every couple hours, and it's staggered. So they don't all update at the same time. So one will update at like 3 p.m., another one will update at 5. So it's every 2 or 3 hours, they'll all update. So you can kind of like look at one right before you go out. Like I think the GFS one updates just at about 7:30. So
Okay.
it's right before it starts to get when you want to make that call, make the call on whether you're going to image or not.
Yep.
Well, you can kind of see that, and you can kind of scan through it. It's actually really cool. You can go through rain, wind, precipitation, high clouds, low clouds.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a powerful
Yeah,
program.
I'm checking it out right now.
Yeah, before that, I used one called iWindsurf. Uses
I've heard of it,
similar analytics, looking at the same sites, but I like the way that windy.com looked. I'll have to check that out some more.
Yeah, this was a suggestion from a friend of mine, Minos. He actually introduced me to this, and I mean, I love it. I think it's great.
Eddie Z says, I just loaded it on my iPhone.
I saw that. The iPhone one isn't as I guess to use one of Jason's words, isn't as robust as the web version.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really I use it all the time.
Oh wow, there's a typhoon down in Baja.
Yep. Well, that actually might bring some more storms for me this weekend.
Oh no.
Well, we really need the rain, so we've gotten like a quarter of our annual rainfall. So that's why we're having so many problems with fires. So I'm of the opinion, if it's going to cloud over, rain. If it's not going to rain, you're not allowed to have clouds. It's driving me nuts. We've had cloud cover for the last 3 weeks and very little rain. I mean, the 2 storms that went through have dumped a total of like a quarter inch.
Well, all right. So here is. You share my screen again.
I'm gonna go outside for 1 second. Okay, guys, give me 1 second.
Yep.
All right.
It's like showing like a gray screen on my guided camera. So I'm thinking that it's more than just those high clouds.
So here is what I'm imaging. This is using the Optilong L Extreme, and this was at 600 seconds. This is the Lion Nebula, SH Sharpless 2 132. So guiding's pretty fair. It's 0.83.
Yeah, I got a sheet of clouds.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So much for being an awesome night. It said 0 across the board on clear outside.
So I don't even know if I can. What is that? What? 15 minutes? No.
What's that?
I'm looking at, I just can't do math. 1,000 seconds. So is that 13 minutes, something like that? I don't know.
Well, 600 seconds would be 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
So
another
400
seconds would be another 7 minutes.
Okay. So
16
17 minutes. So 16, 17 minutes. Wow.
Yeah.
That's some time. But yeah, so this is what I'm trying to go after. I want to check out this L Extreme. So I'm going to go ahead, and it looks like, let me grab my iPad here, because I really want to. The only bummer with you can't really zoom in to see.
Yeah, so that's one of the benefits of having it on a tablet is you can do the pinch zoom, which you did.
Yeah, you can do a pinch. And let me go here. Tools. Edit. No DSO to annotate, so it doesn't see it. It doesn't recognize it because it's not. But yeah, darn it, it's doing it again. I'm getting slightly elongated stars. I don't get this.
Yeah, I see it.
It's weird. You can, if you look closely, you can see they're slightly elongated.
Have you tested the photo in like CCD Inspector?
No, I don't have CCD Inspector.
You know what you do? Download something called ASTAP, ASTAP,
Okay.
and it comes with a cheap free version of CCD Inspector, and you can load the FITS file right into that, and it'll give you all the details regarding flatness of your sensor, curvature, tilt, everything.
Okay, what is it called? ASTAP, A-Z?
ASTAP. It's called Astrometric Stacking Program or something.
ASTAP.
And
Oh, okay.
like a little black box.
Okay, Astrometric Stacking Program. Okay.
Yeah, so download that.
Yep.
Go back on there, bro.
Let's see. Okay.
And then run that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hate that. I wish
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
disable it.
Yeah. And
Mark, to answer your question that you're asking, Eric, no, you cannot manually enter times. It's one of the features that we've requested as users, but they have yet to implement it.
yeah. Oh,
I'm trying to see a screen. It's kind of fuzzy. It's not.
is it kind of?
So
Can I
I think it's on
expand?
tools, and maybe not. I can't see what it says. Let me see if I have it on mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Because I can download. Let me see. I can download this image. Save it.
So you go into File.
Okay.
Load FITS.
Load FITS or the form. Okay. So yeah, and I can grab.
Once you load the FITS,
Yep.
then you go into Tools, and then CCD Inspector. Too much navigation, man.
Yeah. Okay, that was one from yesterday.
Okay. Now go to Tools and CCD Inspector. Oh wow!
Looks like you got a tilt issue.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
That's why you got the elongated stars.
That's it.
You got a massive tilt problem.
Yep, I do. Holy cow. Because even if all right, let me close this for a second. Let me minimize this. Because go to the actual ASI Air, and I go to my preview.
See if you can pull that photo.
Yeah, so I'm gonna download this one and copy and paste it to my desktop.
I love that picture, man.
And file,
Again.
load FITS, go to my desktop. Yeah, because you can see.
You can definitely see it now. Now that you know what you're looking for.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
A little bit better.
As the other
It's
one,
not as
but,
bad.
It's still. You
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yep, I do have a tilt issue. So, and this is one of the issues we've Rasa 8 owners have is that, is this tilt issue.
And that's one of the reasons why I just stay with a refractor.
Right. No, I hear you, man.
But it's slower.
Yep. But
you got to get a good tilter on that in order to get that.
And then that's one of the things is that you can't find. They have it. Bader was talking about making a
a filter that last week,
and who knows? I mean, I think they were talking about it for I think it was last year because they had some sort of demo that a gentleman, I believe his name was Jaeger or something like that, and the Bader FCCT.
Now I don't know a lot about ZWO stuff. I'll admit that. I know pixel size and that kind of stuff. But don't they have a tilter?
They don't have a tilt corrector. There are a couple on a few of their older series cameras, I believe.
Oh yeah.
T2 filter.
Check it. I think they haven't. They've got it out on their website now. Finally.
Oh, cool.
What's that?
So Bader's finally got it on their website as far as
Jason's ordering it.
No,
but there's
no. Actually, I want to see what the if ASI has their.
Let me see here. Let me go back here.
ZWO T2 tilter. Yeah.
Okay.
For ASI.
But it's for the. But I don't know if it's going to get the right back focus for.
It may not, but
Where was I at?
Okay, I see.
Yeah, because here it is. The filter changing camera tilter and specifically developed for the Rasa 8. But right now, it's not for sale.
Oh, geez.
$48 you can get one from ZWO.
What's that?
$48 you can get a T2 filter tilter from ZWO.
Yeah, and I really have to take a look because I believe the back focus is like 25 millimeter.
I'm looking at it now.
That you have to require back focus for the Rasa.
Oh.
So you're in a special.
Yeah,
I've just lost. Hold on a second. I lost sound.
Fun with Bluetooth, right?
Oh yeah.
There we go.
So it's here. They've got it on their website. Now it's just a matter of when are you actually going to start selling it. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna subscribe right now to let me know when it's back in stock.
So here's the other question that
maybe
Dan can help me answer, because I also see that they've got the M42 and M54 sensor plate, tilt plate. Would that help? Dan can't hear because he doesn't have audio. Can you hear us, Dan?
There's my issue.
Yep.
So Dan,
sorry, brother.
Great.
I found that the ZWO also has the sensor tilt plate. Would that help him at all because it's only 5 millimeters instead of the 15 with the T2 adapter?
That might work. It's only 5 millimeters.
Yeah, it's only 5 millimeters, so it would considerably help.
You definitely got to take care of that. That's
yes, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, I still got clouds. I'm ready to close this shop. I don't think this weekend is.
Yeah.
Dan, have you used Clear Outside?
I'm sorry?
Have you used Clear Outside?
Clear Outside?
I use it every day.
Okay.
And it says, if you look at it right now, it says 0 clouds.
Did you look at the advanced one where it goes into the higher metric?
I don't have my phone on. Oh,
we just lost Eric.
Let's see. So right now, current location. Let's see, 0 across. Oh, now it just updated. Now it's 77%, 78% clouds till 1 a.m.
Okay.
Of course, it's a new moon, so that's why they do this to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you turn on the experimental features, so that opens up a little bit more and gives you a little bit better envelope of what to expect. This is what I'm using for most of my spotting and seeing.
Well, actually, I have the experimental features on. I didn't even
Okay.
know it. It's been on the whole time.
Yeah, but to me, that's going to give it a little bit better picture because looking at the non-experimental features, it says that there's not much, but when you look at the 7T alt cloud and 7T seeing, it shows that there is some issues with clarity.
Actually, right now it says 2% total cloud for right now.
Yeah, my total cloud is 34 going down to 3 at midnight. So
Although I'm not sure what 7T cloud is. I'm not sure what that is.
I don't know what that is, but I think that's using a little bit more of the scientific,
That says 50%.
more like Wendy's
So.
using. But yeah, so I mean, just my straight, right now it's all clouded over, so I'm not going to see crap.
Yeah, and with this tilt issue, this is a bummer. And you know what? Well, probably what I'll end up doing, I'll probably just have to reseat I'm going to try to reseat the camera. So I have to go out there and.
Does that camera directly thread onto the RASA?
Yeah, it threads. Yeah, it threads on. So maybe there's an issue with the threading. So I have to double check. So I'll go out there and I'll reseat it and see how that is, and then take another shot and see if it makes any difference. Because I didn't have, because usually if I have tilt, it's on the edges. It's not directly, in the center of my images.
The RASA isn't. Correct me if I'm wrong. The RASA is a flat mirror, right? That's not a curved mirror, right?
Yeah,
like
I believe. Yeah, I believe it's flat. Yes.
Yeah, it's flat. So
flat,
you're not going to have, the edges would, you shouldn't have any coma either, because in a RASA, you shouldn't have any of that.
Right.
So you're usually going to see a degradation. If you have a tilt issue, you're going to see a degradation from one side to the other.
Right.
Which would be the elongating of stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run outside here, unscrew the camera, make sure everything is back nice and tight, and see if it makes a difference. So
actually, you want to close it up because it is almost 11:30.
Yeah, that's fine, man. That's fine. We can go ahead and close it up. So the issue continues.
Struggle is real,
but it's not the mountain this time.
Struggle is real. So, but a good call out, man, on this whole app here.
I have my moments.
Nobody doubt Dan.
Yeah.
Let's make some bracelets.
Like, what is it? H&R Block. I don't say a lot, but when I do, people listen.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right,
so
guys.
Next week, we got Tom Bramwell.
I'm looking forward
from
to that.
Prima Luce Lab. I'm psyched for that.
I'm really psyched for that.
I can't wait.
Tom just did me a solid with helping me out with an Eagle 3Q, which they don't sell anymore. So, thank you so much for that. And what is that? What do you got here? Oh, the new T2 tilter.
Yeah, that was for Eric.
Yeah, I was looking at it, and I don't think because of the back focus requirements, it's going to work for me.
I don't know. There's also the sensor tilt plate that you can do more finite adjustment, and it's only 5mm. So you might want to look at that. And
you got some options there.
Yeah,
and the 533 has a sensor tilt plate
inside
already on it.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
533, yeah.
Yeah, the 533 right on the face. The
I
black.
thought it was only. I thought it was only 2600.
Nope.
No, I'm pretty sure the 533 has it.
Nope. 533
Oh, wow.
should have the tilt plate.
I gotta look because now you make me doubt
Now
it.
you're making me think.
Cooled.
Cool cameras. The 533.
Oh no, the 533 does not have the tilt plate. The 2600 does. Yep, 2600 does.
Yeah, I thought the 2600 does. Yeah.
And that's why I don't sell CWR. I really thought it had it in there. I thought the 530 had it in there with the no amp flow.
No, unfortunately not.
I'm sorry.
But it's okay. It's okay. But no, thank you guys on that. Hey, I just learned something now.
Yeah,
Very
that's a
bad tilt tendency.
program. You know, and
That's a
it'll
really-
tell you all about curvature. If you have any curvature issues for the refractors, if you need a flattener or don't, if you got a tilt issue where you will need a tilter, and to get rid of that, I mean, it'll tell you a lot of stuff, and it's really, really cool just to get a real good snapshot. And if you want to spend like $400, you get like the CCD inspector for real. But
Yeah, yeah. But no, this right here, just giving me this is a huge help. So
yeah, that's a really awesome thing.
yeah. So all right, well, guys,
Looking forward to next week.
I'm
looking forward to seeing Tom.
Yes, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Next week, Tom's gonna get out of work early, right, Tom? Don't worry, we won't tell anybody. But, we just did. So looking forward to that, and I guess that's about it. It's time for a drink.
All right,
Just
there
one.
you go, man. There you go.
I didn't have my. You know what? I was in such a rush to get imaging. I didn't even make my Long Island iced tea that I usually have every night.
Wow, we made it through the whole show.
You know what? Now I'm gonna have two. But guys, thank you so much. Great show again. Eric, awesome job with the videos, man.
Thanks, man.
Jason, get on the ball.
I'm working on it. I'm gone the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, you're gonna be working hard, you know. So you know,
I am going to run the
my
show
next
next
thing
week,
is,
hopefully.
I gotta, you know, learn how to use the green screen and make the chroma key, so I can make some
Chroma key.
backgrounds.
yeah,
You know, so
it's definitely a cool thing.
yeah,
You gotta
It's
make sure the biggest thing that you gotta see, you're gonna all of a sudden that Loom Cube's not gonna do it, bro.
Yep.
yeah.
Loom Cube's not. You're gonna need this,
You know, I need that. Yeah,
you know, or something similar.
but
Dude, do yourself a favor though.
What's
Get
that?
LED lights, man.
well, these are LED.
Yeah, no.
No, like
I'm just
big
saying, when
LED.
you get a bigger light,
Oh, when you get the bigger, okay,
But-
gotcha.
put 4 regular bulbs up there.
Yeah,
Times
oh
2
gosh, no, you're gonna be cooking.
in the summertime.
Yeah, you're
Wasn't
cooking.
like, oh my god.
No.
Yeah, I've
I was
got
going through shows.
I've got
that I
CFLs over
literally, like,
here.
stood up in like a puddle.
Yeah, I've got 5 CFLs in this soft box that's off to my side that does the light for the backdrop, and then I've got the
Okay.
Loom Cube up here doing my front light.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
But
I'm gonna take a look at, maybe I'll adjust, because I know with it's an issue that with the green screen they frown, or you're not supposed to have much of a shadow when
Right.
you take it. So
Well, it won't key the shadow because the shadow
Yeah.
is a different
Right.
color, so it won't key.
yeah, so that'll be something. So I'll have to get around, because
Lots
I
of
would
light.
like to make I want to make a nice thumbnail with the shirt on and everything, and you know, for all my videos, and then I can just add, you know, just different little things. So, you know, just have pretty much a standard background for all of my thumbnails for my YouTube videos. So
Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks again to all of our viewers.
thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
sharing it,
Appreciate it.
spreading the
Thanks,
good word.
guys.
So,
All right, I remember, keep imaging, keep educating, keep having fun, and we'll see you guys with Tom Bramwell next week, 9 o'clock, Wednesday night.
clear skies, everybody.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Have a good one.